Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing selections for Tuesday, the 25th of April. But first, a quick recap on Monday's performance. Well, disappointing really. One of the horses, the stayer, the one that was actually about 11 to 4, 3 to 1. The race analyst, I can't remember what is it Scott Dixon, Martin Dixon, Paul Dixon, one of them. He described the horse as not staying the distance out. What I think happened was it made a mid-race move, and I think it took all the oomph out of the finish of the horse, and it stayed on just at one pace. It was absolutely reefing with about a mile to go, wanted to go faster, and I think the jockey James Sullivan just gave him his head a little bit too soon. Don't go wrong, I don't mean he took the lead because he nowhere near took the lead. But it made up quite a lot of ground halfway round. Around about, sorry, not halfway round, with about a mile to go, and with 4 furlongs still to go, it was still going really well. And when he let it down, I think it just did too much too soon and just stayed on at one pace. It was going really well. Don't go wrong, the leader was going all right. I think everybody just thought it had gone off too quick, and then the JP McManus horse was also going very well as well. And that one just happened to find a little bit more. But I'll be keeping an eye on that horse by John Berry. So I do think it will win a race at Pontefract. And then we had another place horse. In the end, it returned 98 pence for me. But I think that may actually have some of the £6 free bet taken out of it. I'm not sure. But anyway, it makes no difference now. Well, I haven't placed Tuesday's bet yet, but I will be doing. And I really like the look of the horses, and I shall explain why. I've been looking at Epsom weather, and I've been looking at webcams around Epsom, and it looks like they've had loads of rain. I think it's just today that they've had it. There's none really forecast overnight. It's like 12% chance of showers. But I do believe it isn't, or it's enough to change the going from good to soft. I think it's good to soft, good in places. With the amount of rain that they've had, I don't believe it could be good to soft. And in my opinion, when the ground changes, it can suit front runners at Epsom, because normally they are the first to, like most of the track, they are the first to the decent ground, or it can be harder for the horses to pick up and close. So I'm going for 4 selections, and I shall get into it now. So here's the stake. So the stake is, I'm going for £1 each way single on each horse. That's £8 in total. Then I'm going for a 25 pence each way Yankee, 10 pence each way Trebles, and then a 35 pence each way accumulator, which takes the entire bet to £15. And I shall be placing this shortly after this video, and I shall be taking all the prices. It may be risky, but I'm going to take the prices. One especially, it's the biggest price of the lot, and it's a crazy price. It's probably my biggest fancy of the day. Let's put it that way. So here we are. So let's get into it. So the first selection is Pablo Del Pueblo at 10 to 1 in the 150 at Epsom, paying 4 places instead of 3. This is one over course and distance on heavy ground, and the explanation from the train at the time for the apparent improvement in form is it appreciated the heavy ground and the step up in trip. In fact, sorry. No, it didn't. That's the wrong horse. And this is from memory, by the way. Pablo Del Pueblo is fit from the all-weather. It can handle slower ground, and I think it could make all. And it's a bit of a nut job. It tends to go tearing off. But a lot of these horses in this race are making their reappearance. So they could be taken off their feet and treading water from a long way out. And hopefully this horse hangs on. The second selection is Bad Company at 9 to 1 in the 3 o'clock at Epsom, paying 4 places instead of 3. And this horse stays further. It's run over a mile and 4 furlong, and this is the horse where it improved on heavy ground. as I said, it stays further, it likes soft ground, and it could be very hard to beat. It ran a dreadful race on its reappearance. Hopefully, I think what happened with that horse on that occasion was it was slowly away, it raced freely, it was on either soft or heavy ground at Doncaster, and it made headway 5 out. So I think another horse that could have done too much too soon and just blew its chances by slowly away, racing freely, and going for it too far out, or trying to make a midish race move. I think it'll strip all the better for this run, and they're both trained by Jim Boyle. Well, Jim Boyle, it seems like he only trains for Epsom. That's how it seems to be. Well, it's Epsom tomorrow, and I think it's got a cracking chance. The third selection is By the Dip at 7-1 in the 4:45 at Epsom, paying 4 places instead of 3. This one has got Holly Doyle on board. I think this horse wants slower ground. Its first 2 runs were on good to firm. I think one of them at Newmarket, and I think the ground was just too quick for it. I also think that it's not suited to all weather, and its last 2 runs are on the all weather. I think it wants slower ground, and with Holly Doyle booked, it certainly makes me look as though they're taking this race seriously, and I like the look of this horse. So 7-1, too big a price. And finally, my nap of the day. Yes, that's right, a 28-1 at Sadie Hill, 28-1 in the 2:15 at Ffos Las, paying 4 places instead of 3. It's had several runs over hurdles. It first started its career over 2 mile, and some of its ratings are above the rating it is off tomorrow. It's off of 88, and I have seen some, when it was first starting out, Racing Post ratings of 88, 92, and also it didn't actually run that bad last time out. It's been dropped £5. I didn't check to see whether it was £5 out of the handicap in the race they ran, but it didn't run too bad a race. It liked slow ground, and it also likes to be up there. And I think the wind operation, it was given 2 runs after, once over 2 mile 4 straight after. I don't really like it when they have runs after, as in like I would never back a horse, or not normally back a horse just after a wind up. And then it was stepped up to 3 mile, and I think the excuse for it pulling up on that occasion was it didn't stay. And this time, most recently, it ran a decent race. It ran off 93, but showing a race post rating of 88. That basically shows me that it ran pretty much, only slightly just below form. It's dropped to 88. It'll come on for the run, and I think it's got every chance. So that is my nap of the day, Sadie Hill at 28-1. I haven't got a great record at Ffos Las, but that's not an excuse. I just think it's overpriced. Originally, I was going to go for the favourite, or what ended up being the favourite, Philippa Sue, because I tipped that last time. But I do think this horse, 28-1, it's far too good value, and it's just the most interesting horse of the entire day for me. So those are the 4 selections. So if you can give me a like or a subscribe, that would be absolutely fantastic. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.